Hey guys, Krista here. If you know me already, welcome back. Thank you for your support. If you're new here, my name is Krista Molione. I'm a product marketer and I teach coaches, consultants, and small business owners how to create content on fire that will sell, that will attract the right clients, and most importantly, that will help them 10x their business. So today we're going to be continuing on the vein of all the things you need to know to build a strong marketing strategy. We're going to be talking about language, specifically your brand language. Now, why is that important and what is it? Well, it's all about how you speak that will attract or repel people to your channel. It's not just the content you produce, but how you say it. Because ultimately, people need to connect with you based on emotions. So, here are some of the biggest language mistakes that I hear all of the time. And once you hear them, I'm sure in the future, when you're looking at different YouTube channels or reading different content, you'll start noticing it too, right? The very first one is the word you. Sometimes I watch a video or I read an article where the whole thing is written towards me, like in the second person, but with a really kind of high on the pedestal superiority feeling. And my first reaction is to be defensive. I'm like, oh, and then I start feeling bad. So I'm feeling defensive, then I'm feeling bad. Do you think I really want to continue reading this or watching this? No. That's why the best kind of language that I prefer to use is I. The reason for that is because people connect with personal storytelling. One of the best ways of knowing if you are going to succeed in your business is, have you had a transformation? When I hear coaches tell me I have helped 1,000 people or hundreds of people change, my first thought is, but have you changed? Tell me your story. And that's really important because the more you say I, the more people will be less defensive and more drawn into your story. You will build trust, you will build authenticity, and people like you because you're being vulnerable by telling your real story, right? So I prefer to avoid you. The second thing is something that I am very guilty of. It's called filler words. So, like, everyone does it, especially when you're just starting out because maybe you're not used to public speaking. So I said it, we tend to use these filler words. I didn't realize how bad it was until I actually started a podcast. And then I had to edit my own voice and my guest's voice. And I'll never forget one guy who said, 37 times within 45 minutes. No joke. Imagine going back and editing those snippets and then connecting the audio to make sure that it didn't sound bad. 37 times. I was tempted to re-record, but the interview was just really good. So my filler word is so, if you haven't noticed. We get better with it at time. One of the things you can do that I have learned and that has personally helped me in my podcast and on videos like here on YouTube or on other channels is to take a breath and pause. We'll realize over time that most of the filler words come because we're trying to get out a lot of information. And those filler words literally are bridging one thought to the next thought. Instead, it's more impactful to take a breath and just pause before you continue your next sentence. I wish I had done some public speaking training, but I've heard that they teach something like that. Because obviously, if you're doing public speaking, filler words is going to be a big, big problem for many people, especially when we're nervous. The third thing I have to talk about today is acronyms. People tend to overuse acronyms when they want to appear smart. That means that they know all these terms and all this industry jargon. It doesn't work, guys. When you're doing video or when you're writing articles, unless you're writing something for a very specific scientific or academic crowd, if you're writing for general people, use layman's terms. If you do throw in an acronym, like I have created a few acronyms for my programs, you need to explain them. You need to have a graphic that shows them. You need to write it out. And remember to regularly explain to people what that acronym stands for. But the less acronyms you use, the better. The other thing that is a big problem are weak calls to action. When you are creating your sales language for your videos or for a program that you've developed, be mindful about saying really weak call to actions. I'll give you some examples. Reach out if you have questions, DM me, or you just don't say anything. You know, people are not going to react. Those aren't really strong call to actions. Reach out. One of the other weak calls to action is let me know what you need help with, or let me know what kind of content you like so that I can make more of it. I mean, you guys come here and watch my videos for answers. You don't need me asking you for what should I produce. I'm not saying you can't do it, but you have to do it in a different way. And I see way too many people just throwing these things out there and then they never ever get any answers. No one answers them. Um, so weak call to actions are not good. Now, what should you be doing instead? I'm not just here to criticize because I have made all those mistakes. I'm the first person to tell you that everything I've said today, I have personally done. I'm guilty. And so this is by no means a video to shame anyone or act like I haven't done these things. On the contrary, part of the reason I'm making this video is because I've done them and I see the same things over and over in my clients, in their content. So that's why I developed an acronym, haha. It's called FIRE. And because my program is Krista's Content on Fire, I'm teaching you how to create content that really sells, that gets people contacting you, that draws people in, magnetic content. So my FIRE acronym stands for fierce, interesting, real, emotional. FIRE. You don't have to remember that. I'll drop it in the comments. And if you're lucky, I may produce a worksheet about this and put it in there too. But essentially, we're going to go into those now. So the number one thing is fierce. And why do I say fierce? Because when I read or when I watch something, I want to have my time be valued. And I want to say, wow, I'm so excited that I just read that or watched it, and I feel pumped. So if you produce fierce content, people will be pumped after reading or watching. The best coaching calls I have are the ones where people say, "Oh my gosh, it's like evening in my time zone, but I'm not going to go to sleep. I like want to sit down and start working immediately on the stuff that we just discussed." Or they tell me, "I could do another hour. Like I know our time's up, but I'm just so pumped." That's what I mean by fierce. So whatever you do, try to be fierce, because fierce means you really go above and beyond to pump people up. Take up their energy levels, guys. I don't care what you're doing, just do it as much as you can, okay? That means put your heart into it, put the passion that you can give to your customers or your audience. The second thing is I stands for interesting. That's obvious. However, I think, what does it mean? What does really interesting mean? Interesting for me is something that captivates my attention. So while something may be interesting for you, you could talk about it all day. It's the way that you give it to your audience that makes it interesting to them. So we have to learn storytelling. So for me, making content interesting directly relates to how well you can storytell. Take any piece of information and you can make it boring or you can make it interesting to other people. So your job is to try to make your content as interesting as possible through good storytelling. I have a related video about storytelling that I will drop in here so that you can check it out later. Number 3 is real. My brand is all about authenticity. I have built a community and an audience based upon me being really vulnerable and very authentic with my audience. Not on YouTube, on LinkedIn. If you guys don't follow me over there, shameless plug, you should come over and check out my stuff. The second place that I'm very vulnerable is on medium.com. So Medium is the place where I pour my soul into personal tales about my life. And so between LinkedIn and Medium, you'll see a pattern. You'll see me. That's my brand, being really authentic. Now, there's a difference between being real and oversharing. For example, on LinkedIn, I might not be talking about my relationship advice or my personal relationships in my private life that I would talk about on Medium. But that doesn't mean that I can't be just as real. So you can adjust what you share and where it's appropriate to share it and with whom it's appropriate to share it. One thing I never do in my real content is share information about other people. So that's what I would call oversharing. I would say that that's just not okay to name names or to talk about your romantic partner online in a public place. No, that's not cool. So being real, there are boundaries around it. And in my program, Content on Fire, I'm trying to hit up that perfect balance to show people how they can be real without overstepping those boundaries. It's definitely something that takes time to tune into because we're not taught to be real. We're taught to appear smart. We're taught to appear like, professional. But being real is something that more and more people are craving. So don't let them down. Be yourself. This is the new way of doing things. We're all craving more of it. And often I hear people tell me, they reach out to me and they say, the article you wrote really moved me, or the video you made really moved me because it was authentic and that's refreshing. So don't be afraid. It won't hurt your brand at all. On the contrary, it will build trust. So I can't talk about that enough, being real. The last one is emotions. So you have to produce content that drives people's emotions. People buy from you first and foremost because you moved them on a personal level, because there is really no such thing as a business person and a private person. We are always the same people, just in different contexts, we may be expecting different things. But that doesn't mean that you should remove the emotions or separate the emotions. You always want to touch people on an emotional level because people do business with those they know, like, and trust, right? So emotions have to be everywhere. And when I look at your content, whether it's a video or an article, whatever it is, I want to feel something. So always think about what are the emotions you're trying to drive behind this this piece of content. So when I read it or watch it, what am I supposed to feel like, right? For me, most of the time, my personal content, I would tell you, I want people to be reflective after they watch or read my stuff. Reflective, like, how can I apply that to what I'm doing and really get them thinking about how to take this value that I'm trying to give them and apply it to what they currently are doing. And I also like when people feel pumped. So I'm a high energy person and I love to give my energy away. I love that because I feel like people need to be energized. I want to be a cheerleader for people. I want to be their positivity coach and be there for everybody. So think about that. Do you want people to go off and feel nothing? I mean, that's probably, indifference is probably even worse than feeling angry. Sometimes I've heard people tell me, I'm afraid to publish this because I'm afraid to make some people angry. And what I say is, I say it's better to be angry than indifferent. Like the best compliment that I can give you is that you have a few trolls because you've moved people. And look at any of the best thought leaders in any category, you'll see that they all have haters, because whenever you take a step above and beyond and you connect with raw emotion, some people are triggered in a positive way and some people won't be. But don't worry about that. That's absolutely normal. It just means you've touched people because you've gone above and beyond. Um, so yeah, FIRE is my acronym for producing your brand language. And the last thing I do want to say is it's super important to talk to people like people, right? So a lot of times I feel like we get all clamped up and nervous, and I am guilty of this. So again, when really we need to talk to people like we were talking, in a day by day vocabulary, a day by day tone. You don't have to get all like up there official. Just be yourself. People want to listen to that normal language, nothing fancy. And when you do have specialized language that you want to throw in, make sure that you don't overdo it with the acronyms, that you explain things. And in general, you keep it to a very understandable, very narrative type of language. I do this even in my writing. Once you master this, you can take it up a notch and you can inject your personality. Uh, so my style is a lot of humor. I like to say things that people will laugh out loud, and they're like, "That's so true," but I've never heard anyone say it that way. And I'm like, "Yeah, because we all think something, but few people actually say what they think." So in my content, I use humor, and so you're reading, and suddenly you'll see something that you already believe in or you've heard other people say, but you've never seen anyone write it, you know? And you can start doing that too. You do not have to aim to do it the way I do it. Maybe it's something different, but hone in on your particular personality language and figure out how you can put it into your brand in every aspect. And that's what's going to make your content magnetic. So everything I'm talking about today, your brand language, is super important so that later on people will reach out to you. And this is how you draw people in versus having to do a lot of outreach. Hey, do you want to buy my stuff? Do you want to work with me? Do you want to hire me? If you produce magnetic content, you barely have to do any of that, because as long as your content has those elements in it, the right people will say, hey, she's talking to me or he's talking to me, and they will start reaching out to you. So that's all for today, guys. I don't like to go into these videos too long because I know you guys don't have that much time, but I definitely hope that this was helpful today. And if you like these videos, I do marketing videos and sales videos every week. So please consider liking my video. It really helps to support me and my channel, and subscribing to get future videos sent to you. Have a great day, guys, and talk to you soon, and produce your fire content.